Now live, or it's telling me my audience is going to see it in a minute, in a moment. So if you are watching this live, bear with me. And that just means just wait for a couple of moments. We are now live. Welcome. This is Jack from tofluency.com. Welcome to this English lesson. It's Thursday. It's 10 to 3. And I was thinking about creating some kind of English lesson, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do today. I actually went live on Facebook before, facebook.com/tofluency, and I just talked about certain things, and I thought, why not do that on YouTube as well? There's a lot to talk about, and like Majidi and Marcelo are here, I can chat to people. So know that this was recorded live if you're watching the replay. Georgiana is here, Christian, Hina is here, Paolo, Shayna, Gemma, Jimmy, Olga, Dima, Bartek. A lot of people are joining live, which is fantastic. And I've got quite a lot to talk about, and stay to the end because I want to ask your feedback as well. I've got a question for you at the end of this lesson. So I actually have just taken a nap in my office. And I wish I could show you, but I can't really move the camera. Actually, wait there. Okay, can you see this? This is an acoustic panel. And I got these because I wanted to put them on the wall to help with the sound in here. So then it sounds better and I can make podcasts, make videos, etc. But I use them as a little mattress in the corner. I also have a smaller one that I use as a pillow, and I have a blanket as well. So it means that I can have a quick nap in the office. And I need to do that right now because we have 2 kids. I'm working hard, I'm up early, I stay up late, and it's good just to get a little nap here and then. And I came into the office today feeling a little under the weather. Now I made a lesson on this, so be sure to check the description if you are watching the replay. I'm just going to make some notes of what I talk about. Let's go back to the chat. Maria, Nashis, Oleg is here. Good to see you, Oleg. Najeb, who was live with me on Facebook. Chris Lane, Tin, Valentina, and Claudini from Rome. Very cool. I've actually made a video on have a nap and take a nap. And also, I made a video on what I talked about before too. So, this channel today, here on YouTube, it reached 16,000 subscribers. It's growing every day. People are watching more of my lessons. People are finding me on YouTube. English learners who want to improve their English. And YouTube for me is something that I really want to commit to. I want to make better lessons. I want to make more lessons. I want to make this channel a little bit different. I want to create different types of lessons moving forward. Hossam, you have a great question. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I would love your input on this. I'm going to tell you how you can do that at the end of the lesson. I'm going to ask for you to tell me how I can improve my lessons and what kind of lessons you want me to make. Now, the other thing I've been thinking about is making more lessons on my phone and just documenting daily life here in America, because this gives you great context. Listening to me on YouTube in this office is great. You can learn a lot from it. But I want to expand this and to try different things. Let's go back into the chat section. So actually, I think I'll be able to add the comments today. So bear with me, everybody. I think I can add comments in here. While I'm doing that, I can't multitask. Multitask means to do 2 or 3 things at the same time. Let's see if I can multitask while I do this. So today also, I did a podcast with someone. So someone invited me on their podcast. It was a real life English team. I didn't want that. The real life English team, and check them out. They're fun guys. There's Justin, Chad, and Ethan. And Josh used to work for them as well. I speak to Josh every now and then. Guys in Brazil who live in Brazil who are doing great things with English lessons. So they interviewed me on their podcast today. And something that came up was we didn't have a plan for what we were going to talk about, which is great. We could just be spontaneous, the word of the day, and just talk about things and chat as friends. And what we ended up discussing was how important it is to be surrounded by the right type of people. And there's a quote here. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You are the average of the people you spend the most time with. And I love this quote. And the example that I gave was this. When I am surrounded by friends who like to drink beer mainly, then I drink more beer. When I'm surrounded by people, or if I go to a party and people aren't drinking, I drink a lot less. And this is true for every aspect of our lives. Sometimes it's obvious, we know it's happening. Sometimes it's more subconscious. It's not as obvious. But this is important for someone learning English, because if your group consists of people who have a low level of English and they have no ambition, no desire to improve their level, then it's difficult for you to do that while you spend a lot of time with these people. They'll say things like, why are you learning English? Or, I tried to learn English, it's too difficult. English is a tough language. Let's do this instead. If you constantly hear that, then they will wear you down. They will start to change the way you think about things. And we can only really concentrate on this and focus on what we want to do for so long when people are saying these things. Jennifer Vargas, it's my first time in a live English lesson with you, Jack. Thank you for being here. This was a very spontaneous lesson. Guys, please give this video the thumbs up. Maria, your lessons help me improve my English. Valentina, I like listening and watching you. Thank you. I like you being here as well. Osti, thank you so much for your helpful videos. This is fantastic. Nelson is from Patos de Minas, Brazil. Nafi, I don't know what you're saying there, Nafi. Shania says, can you make a video about reading books and how to choose the right book for your level? This is key. This is such a good question. Reading, if you like reading, read more in English. The problem is, however, people choose books that are too difficult for them, or they choose books that are boring. And if you're reading a boring book, you're not going to read it. You're not going to continue reading it for the long term. If you read a book that's too difficult, you're not going to continue reading it for the long term. What I recommend doing is this, and I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can actually do this. Okay, I'm going to show you my display. So can you see my screen? Hopefully you can. You can see the comments over here. You can see the screen here. Now let's make this bigger. And what you can do is this. You can go to Amazon.com. I'm going to show you a book that I think is great for English learners. It's a little bit of a sad book. It's called The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. And you might not be able to see this very well. But click on the book. And then in Amazon, there's this button over here that says look inside. You can look inside the book and start reading it. So you can try these different books, and you can zoom in here. You can try these different books on Amazon for free. You can read a few pages. I'm just going to read a little bit of this, just the first paragraph. When Bruno returns home from school one day, he discovers that his belongings are being packed in crates. His father has received a promotion, and the family must move to a new house far, far away, where there is no one to play with and nothing to do. A tall fence stretches as far as the eye can see and cuts him off from the strange people in the distance. Now, I think this book is great for learning English because it's quite simple. The language it uses is quite simple. But what you can do is start reading it inside of Amazon, and if you want to continue reading it, then buy it or download it. But this allows you to realize if a book is going to be good for you or not, if it's going to help you, if it's going to be easy enough for you to understand. So that's a really important thing to do. Find a book that you're going to enjoy. Another thing you can do as well is to read books that you've already read in your native language. So if you've read this book before in your native language, then read it in English. You already understand what's happening, and then this allows you to better understand the story. Another thing to consider is to get books with audiobooks, ones that also have the exact audio for the book. And this means you can listen and read at the same time. You can get into a rhythm, into a pattern of reading, listening and reading to the book at the same time. And that allows you to connect the words with the pronunciation. And it's also two types of input. You're listening and you're reading. And that's more powerful than just doing one. Track asks, I've learned a lot of vocabulary, but I don't use them in real conversations. Yeah, this is where I recommend the sentence method. And this is a method that I have used in the past learning Spanish. It's a method that I know other people have used and they really enjoy. And I've refined it, I've changed it slightly to make sure that people are using it to improve their speaking. So, the sentence method, go to fluency.com/sentence-method, and you'll be able to, you'll be able to find that method also in the description. I'm just going to make a note of it. After you watch this video, or if you're watching the replay, you'll be able to click the link and then have a look at that method. This means that you're taking sentences, you're repeating them so they stay in your long-term memory. And the more you do this, the more flexible you can be with your vocabulary. But it's also important to get sentences from context, so then you know exactly when to use them. Someone mentioned before, reading bilingual books helps as well. Yeah, you can get books where there's like Spanish and then English, or German, English, Thai, English, etc. And that allows you to see or to properly translate sentences instead of translating words incorrectly. Sorry, I keep banging my microphone. Sorry about the sound. Post Blue says, I'm reading a book called Wonder by R.J. Palacio. It's very nice and it's an easy book to learn. You are a great teacher, by the way. Greetings from Mexico. Thank you for that recommendation. We've got Yolanda from Spain, who's been in London for a year. And then people are talking about different audio books as well. Great. So, yeah, reading books, enjoying them. It doesn't have to be a book. It can be a blog. It could be a website. It could be magazines. Reading anything. It's just so important that you actually read. So important. And to get that listening practice as well. That's going to help you progress more quickly. So going back to surrounding yourself with the right people. Again, if you surround yourself with people who say things like, oh, English is too difficult, or people who just generally aren't very successful, who don't achieve things, who want to bring you down, who want to drag you down, then it's very difficult for you to achieve those goals, any kind of goal that you want to achieve. We're talking about learning English, so let's continue with that example. It's going to be difficult for you to get to a level that you want to be at because people will drag you down. They'll bring you down to their level. Now, a way to improve this, a way to be surrounded by people who are going to inspire you, the first way is to watch my videos. I talk about goals, motivation, the reason you're doing this. Also, I talk about it in my book, The 5-Step Plan for English Fluency, and you can download that for free to fluency.com/book. There'll be a link in the description, and also you can click the book at the end of this video to download it. So you can surround yourself with my lessons, other teachers, people who you find inspiring, groups. On my group on Facebook, for example, on my Facebook page, where people are motivated and they want to learn English, you can surround yourself with these types of people. Denise asks, how are you today? Oh, Denise, thank you for the kind comments recently on Facebook. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I was a little bit tired this morning. I had little sleep last night. In fact, I stayed up watching the World Series of Baseball, or just the World Series, I think it's called, a baseball final. It was the Chicago Cubs against the Cleveland Indians, and I wanted the Cubs to win. They won, but I fell asleep before the final of the game. So I stayed up quite late. I woke up early because my son woke up early, and yeah, I've been a little bit tired today. So, but everything's going great. I'm just checking out the YouTube stats. We've been going live for 16 minutes now. 62 people are watching live. Come say hello in the chat box if you are watching. Fanny says, The Beach, Gladiator, The Murder in the Rue Morgue, Far from the Madding Crowd, Phantom of the Opera, Robinson Crusoe. Yeah, another thing with books, and it doesn't matter too much in a general sense, but if you really want to learn language that you can use in conversation, then get books that have a lot of dialogue and modern books as well. You know, there are a lot of classics, but they use vocabulary that just people don't use. And I had a learner who learned English from Victorian novels, and they memorized these novels. And the way they spoke was incredible. I mean, I could understand them at times, but the phrases, the idioms, the vocabulary, the grammar was from years ago. And things change with English. So modern books are better, but again, it just depends on you and your goals and what you want to achieve. Yeah, so I'm just reading the comments again. I wish I could show them. Do you teach English in private lessons? I don't. I used to, but now I teach people through my program, the Fluency program, and you can find that at fluency.com/TFP. I'll leave a link in the description too. So talking about goals and talking about what I want to achieve, and I think this will be interesting for you. I want to grow this channel. It's at 16,000 members, subscribers. I want to grow it to 100,000 in 2017. That's my goal. I have this goal, and I have a very strong reason to do this. And it's simply because I love teaching. I love teaching on YouTube, and I want to help as many people as possible. And when the channel gets to 100,000 subscribers, then I'll be helping a lot of people. And to help me achieve this, I actually talk to a lot of other people who have YouTube channels. I don't talk to some of my close friends about YouTube and ask them questions because they don't have that goal. Instead, I talk to other teachers other people who have channels, and we chat on Skype. For example, today I spoke with the guys at Real Life English. Tomorrow, I'm doing a video with Speak English with Vanessa. I know Gabby from Go Natural English, we're very close. Shayna from Espresso English. And a bunch of other people who have learning channels on YouTube, who teach English on YouTube. So for me, I'm surrounding myself with people who are successful, who want to achieve the same thing as I do, because I know that they're going to help me achieve my goals. They're going to help me reach more people. And yeah, I'm so excited about getting to this stage and then increasing my audience and improving my videos all the time, teaching more lessons and just enjoying this experience. Let's have a look at the comment section. Yeah, in China we can't open YouTube. It's a shame that you can't have YouTube. It's what's it called in China? There's one that's very similar. Youku or something like that. I can't remember. But there's Weibo, there's WeChat, and Youku, I think. Let's have a look at the comment section. Valentina, I agree. Classical literature is written in old language. Yeah, it is. It's written in old language, especially something like Jane Eyre. Those classic novels. Charles Dickens as well. Victorian era novels in that case. It's just written in a way that people don't use. And I made a video saying if you want to learn conversational English, listen to more conversations. And the more conversations you listen to, the more you'll internalize the kind of phrases and words and grammar that you'll need to have conversations. Alex is from Belarus. Thank you, Jack, for your work. It's my pleasure. We've got Haita from Brazil. Good to have you. Alan is here. Yuku. Alan is from Scotland. Good to have you, Alan. I'm on all Chinese social media. Well, the main ones. Alan is in Scotland. Alan, let me know what languages that you're learning right now. Alan speaks quite a lot of languages. And how old are you, Alan, too? I can't remember. But yeah, let's learn more about that. Fanny says you can use series. Yes, you can. So you can watch TV shows. It's more conversational. Friends is such a good example of this, where people are using everyday English in a way that people use in a more natural way. So yeah, Friends is a great example. But again, you need to watch TV shows that you're going to enjoy and those that you can understand as well. Now, in the Facebook video I made today, facebook.com/tofluency, I talked about how I was going to do a live lesson tomorrow. I hope to do a live lesson tomorrow, one with slides, one with vocabulary and expressions. Today's lesson has been very spontaneous, which I enjoy. And I hope to do one tomorrow, but I forgot that I'm doing a collaboration with another teacher tomorrow. So I might not be able to do a live lesson tomorrow. We'll have to see. It all depends on when I can get to the office after dropping my son off. Marja says, you're a must for English learners, greeting from Barcelona. Good to have you. Andre Nino, I realise that if I read a book out loud with a native English speaker listening next to me, I can improve my pronunciation. Definitely. Alan is 16, still doing Spanish, learning more Arabic, a bit of Esperanto. Very good. I've cut the others off because it's too much. Samuel, I was watching English videos on YouTube and your channel appeared as a recommendation. Very good. Guys, if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe. Denise, Parks and Recreation is cool. This is a TV show, Parks and Recreation. Let me just show you what this looks like. Sorry about my microphone. I keep banging my microphone. I need to make it a little bit better. So yeah, Parks and Recreation is a fantastic sitcom. It's like The Office in a way. It's very similar to The Office, but it's such a good show. It's lots of fun. You really like the characters, And yeah, everything about it is just so enjoyable. So it's a great show to watch. Um, Maria, I listen to TED Talks. It's very interesting and useful. Very good. Yeah, with TED Talks, you can find interesting talks. If you go on their website, they also have the transcription, so you can read and listen at the same time. It's another fantastic resource that you can use. Hey, Hitor, I recommended your channel for all my friends. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, if you can share this channel with your friends, I would really appreciate it. So, yeah, just to summarize what we've talked about, be around people who are going to help you with your goals, people who are successful, people who have the same goal as you do. And make sure that you join communities, groups of people who really want to improve. I also talked about my channel and how I want to really grow this. I want to grow this channel and reach as many English learners as possible. And I'm going to do that by continuing making lessons, doing collaborations, and also making better videos and different types of videos. And then we've just talked about books. We've talked about how reading's important, how you can read and listen at the same time, to use the sentence method to improve your ability to use a language, and lots of different things as well. Julio says, I'm going to improve my English by watching Stranger Things. Stranger Things is fantastic. I really like it. Alessandra, this community is fantastic. Yeah, I love it. I love connecting with you guys, and you know, I start to see the same names. I've known people for a long time. Najeb's here. I've known Najeb for a long time from Egypt. He's got my audiobook, he's got my course, and always made the live lessons. Edwin is here. I really enjoy your videos. You're very clear to understand. Fantastic. Forget phrasal verbs now. Yeah, I'm going to talk about phrasal verbs later. In fact, I'll leave a playlist in the description where there are about 25 phrasal verb lessons that I've made. So I'll leave the playlist in the description as well. Okay, one last thing. Alan says, I cut people off when I dropped out of secondary school 4 months ago. People didn't have any effect on my life. People who didn't care about anything. Yeah, this is key. You know, if you're surrounded by people who don't have any ambition, who just want to bring you down, who aren't helpful, then it's very difficult for you to achieve things. And when it comes to learning English, because it's such a long journey, it's going to take you a long time. It's a journey you're always going to be on this journey. You're always going to be improving your English. It's a long-term goal. And with long-term goals, you need to be consistent. You need to enjoy it. You need to have fun. You need to make it interesting. And having people who don't make it interesting and try to stop you is going to make it much more difficult. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please click the thumbs up and share this video if you found it useful. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye, everyone.